From Truett-McConnell College in Cleveland, Georgia, another round of the Southern State Showcase just around the corner. John Nelson here, Nicole Morocco there. What does the menu look like for this week?
Well, we're going to head to Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to tell you about the Baseball All-Star Classic. We're going to hit some other places around the conference, so don't go away. The showcase starts right now.
The Southern State Showcase on Sports South.
Welcome to the showcase here on the campus of Truett-McConnell College in Cleveland, Georgia. Nicole Morocco here, John Nelson there. We're going to get right to it, so here's our first story. This fall marked the first season for the cross-country program at Brewton-Parker College. When athletic director Sheila Simmons was looking for a coach to head the program, it was a no-brainer for her in making the decision to bring in Caleb Snyder.
We wanted to start up our men and women's cross country as well as our men and women's track program, and actually Coach Snyder came highly recommended actually from Emmanuel's head coach, who is his former boss as well as mentor, and Coach Snyder did a very good job at Montreat in helping to build and maintaining the men's and women's cross country and track program, and so it was a no-brainer that he would come and head up our programs here.
Coach Snyder spent the first 10 years of his life living in Congo, Africa, where his parents were missionaries.
Growing up, in that environment really played an effect on my faith. Just seeing different backgrounds, where people really can come from, and it's a different world, like I said, and how blessed we really are.
His faith played a major role in his deciding factor to coach at Brewton-Parker. Once on campus, Coach Snyder received an email from a young lady named Irene Chalanungat from Kenya, Africa. The email expressed her interest in coming to America and running at Brewton-Parker. Once getting by the obstacles of immigration and admissions, Irene finally arrived in the United States for the first time in her life.
I just remember her walking around when she got off the plane, and she was thinking, man, you could see it on her face that she was just looking around like, what are these buildings? And so it was a pretty cool experience.
It's a very exciting situation for us here on our campus to have a young lady like Irene, not just for her athletic ability, but what she brings to our campus from a cultural aspect. And she actually looked us up on the internet and found out a little bit about Coach Snyder and his background. His parents were former missionaries, and him being born in the Congo, and it was just a perfect fit. And she's had to make some adjustments being here. As a matter of fact, with us giving her her first pair of running shoes. With this young lady running up to 10 miles a day on all sorts of surfaces, bare feet, it's just unbelievable what she's been through, and to be here and she's teaching us more, I think, than we're teaching her, to be honest.
Prior to coming to the United States, Irene would run miles upon miles barefoot. It wasn't until she arrived at Brewton-Parker that she received her first pair of running shoes.
When I was in Kenya, we used to train without shoes, so when I was here, it was my first time wearing running shoes.
The fact that Brewton-Parker was a Christian institution drew Irene to the school just as it did with Coach Snyder. This love for their faith and their similar backgrounds living in Africa formed a unique bond between Irene and Coach Snyder.
Yeah, I think we have a very good relationship. It's tough knowing exactly where somebody comes from. And from what I hear, our backgrounds are pretty similar. In that, they were both third world for the most part, and just, had very little. And so it was easy for me to relate to her.
Being a new program can sometimes be a tough adjustment, but the team has exceeded all of Coach Snyder's expectations.
Being as new of a program as we are, we're looking for just continued improvement. Our team has done well, way beyond my expectations, performed way beyond. And they're just a great group of kids. And so what I'm looking for is just continued improvement. We've put in the work, we're ready, and we'll see what happens.
Irene and her teammates competed in the SSAC Cross Country Championships last week. Make sure to tune into our next show for a full recap of the event. All right, that's going to do it for the ABOC. Up next, we'll head to Montgomery, Alabama and tell you about the Baseball All-Star Classic. Don't go away, the showcase continues right after this.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in the field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
The number one can make or break a great game. One hit.
And it's going back. It is out of here.
One goal. One shot. 1 second. When it comes to technology solutions, excellence is defined by one. OnePath, competitively connected. OnePath is proud to be the sponsor of excellence for the Southern States Athletic Conference.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
Welcome back to the showcase here on the campus of Truett McConnell in Cleveland, Georgia. It's a beautiful fall afternoon. John, where are we headed now?
A lot of folks' minds are on the Fall Classic when it comes to the pros in baseball. The Southern States Athletic Conference had its own All-Star game in the city of Montgomery. Here's a look back as all the best were on one field.
The top players from around the conference gathered in Montgomery, Alabama for the 3rd annual Southern States Athletic Conference Baseball All-Star Classic.
The idea was born a couple of years ago. Some of the guys put together the thought that we could bring our best players into a central location and invite the pro scouts in and let them take a look at them, do a showcase type of all-star game and with our draft eligible guys.
Each school from the conference selects their top players to participate in the All-Star Classic for the opportunity to be seen by major league scouts from across the country, with the hope that they have what it takes to make it to the pros.
A good time for them to showcase what they've, and all the hard work they've put in, especially in the fall. And coming in, it's an incentive for a lot of our players to say, you know, if you accomplish this or achieve this, there's a possibility you'll go to a showcase and you can show your talents to the scouts, this type thing. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
And all that hard work has paid off. In 2012, 10 players from the Southern States Athletic Conference were selected during the Major League Baseball draft. 5 of those players were from Lee University, setting a new school record for the most players drafted in a single draft.
But we've had several guys sign professional contracts, and an awful lot of it started right here with the scouts seeing them the first time before the season starts. So it's great. It's a great opportunity for each one of our kids that get the opportunity to come over here.
Players selected for the All-Star Classic spend the day showcasing their skills with speed tests, batting practice, pitching, and fielding. This year's event was organized by Faulkner University's head coach Patrick McCarthy and his staff.
Yeah, I think this is a good camaraderie in our league, and our guys, as far as the coaching and staffs go, I think everybody gets along to the point where it's good to get together and you know, you almost hope and wish for the success of those guys in the postseason, just because it's better prestige for our conference.
The coaches and players work hard all season long, and this event allows them to show off those efforts not only for the MLB scouts, but also for bragging rights in 2 7-inning games of the East versus the West.
It's a great opportunity for our men on both sides of the East and the West. They get to come out and get to play and get to see, you know, some of the talent on either side, as well as getting to showcase, you know, what they have to the pro scouts. So I think it's fun because there's not a whole lot of pressure in the games, and they're getting to just relax and enjoy the great game of baseball.
And players from across the conference are what make it such a great game. Their talent and hard work allow the SSAC to stand out on a national level. The Baseball All-Star Classic is possible thanks to the City of Montgomery, the Central Alabama Sports Commission, and all the coaches from the SSAC. For the Southern State Showcase, I'm Mindy Hilton.
So Nicole, the SSAC always well represented when it comes to the NAIA playoffs and the NAIA World Series. It was good to see all of the All-Stars on one field in the Capital of Dreams.
It certainly was. Well, up next, we'll finally show you around this beautiful college here in Cleveland, Georgia, so don't go away. The showcase continues right after this.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
Welcome back to the showcase. Moving right along, it's finally time to learn a little bit more about Truett McConnell.
We are here at the Kearns Family Bell, one of the centerpieces here on campus, so let's find out more about the Bears and life here in Cleveland. Truett McConnell College comes from honoring George W. Truett and Fernando McConnell, cousins who operated a private Christian academy in Hiawassee, Georgia back in the 1880s. They were renowned Baptist pastors and educators whose work has them as pioneers in the field. In July of 1946, ceremonies in Cleveland, Georgia, ushered in the start of the new college that moved to its present location in September of 1956. Today, Truett McConnell College stands on more than 200 acres and is in the process and progress of being a 4-year college, that era starting in December of 2002. The vision carried out these days is by President Dr. Amir Kaner and is for the school to remain biblically centered and distinctively Baptist.
From a purely marketing standpoint, it helps us to identify kind of our main audience, but really it's not just a marketing ploy. It's not niche marketing. It is we want to be honest about who we are, and we're open to anybody coming here, but we want to be honest about who we are so that people don't come here and say, whoa, this isn't what we signed on for. So it's more about being honest about who we are, about where we're coming from as far as what we believe, and then about saying, hey, whoever wants to come can come, but just come in with your eyes open.
And for everyone at Truett McConnell, the idea is to be a good steward, not just on campus, but off, to make your impact and leave a footprint for you to remember and for those behind to follow.
We want White County and Gainesville to know that we're here to serve. Jesus said in the New Testament that the Son of Man didn't come to serve or to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. And we want people to know if Jesus came to serve, then we need to be here to serve as well. Whether that means going to elementary schools, some of our athletic teams go to elementary schools and read to kids, whether it means helping at the Gainesville Care Center, the pregnancy center there. There's all kinds of different outreaches that we've done. It may mean that we go to the Appalachian Trail and work with some people there and give out food and cook lunches for hikers. So there's lots of different ways that plays out, but we believe that if White County and Gainesville aren't different because we're here, then we're not doing our job.
One of the unique aspects of the degree program across the board at Truett McConnell is the idea that everyone will leave with a particular minor as a part of the quest for a degree. But the thought goes back to what has been discussed, making a mark and being an influential member of the Truett family.
Every student that graduates with a degree from Truett McConnell College will also have a minor in Great Commission Studies. And what that means, how that plays out, is every student will either take a class in missions or will go on an international mission trip. Now, the exciting thing about that is not only are we taking our students and giving them an opportunity to go to different parts, different locales in the world and share their faith, whether it's through athletics or whether it's through door-to-door evangelism, or whether it's through medical missions. We give our students an opportunity to do that, but it also gives our students an opportunity to go across the world and see what life is like in other places and be able to come back where they're changed as well. It's not just going and serving and changing other places, but it's about seeing how God, through those opportunities, works and changes us. And so world missions is a big part of what we do.
The same attitude applies to athletics and the athletes that wear the Truett colors around the Southern States Athletic Conference. Epling wants all of his charges, from a team standpoint, to walk and live by faith and be examples for all they touch.
We want every athlete that walks on this campus to hate to lose. We don't think there's any intrinsic spiritual benefit to just liking losing. We want our athletes to hate to lose, but we also want them to understand that when you walk by faith, what that means is that you live your life like the promises that Jesus gave us in the Bible are real. So you live your life in the classroom. You also live your life on the basketball court, or on the baseball field, or on the softball field, or on the soccer field. The way you conduct yourself is different because, Colossians also says Christ in us is the hope of glory. If the way we live our lives doesn't convey that we have a hope, then that's an us problem. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. Walking by faith means that we can live a different life because we believe that God's real and He's really there with us.
The school is experiencing a renaissance in growth in both numbers and degrees, literally and figuratively. The numbers are lending themselves to a record enrollment, and degrees, which now number in the neighborhood of 24 different pursuits. The desire for the administration at Truett McConnell is for the students they teach, touch, and reach to simply find their place in the world.
We want our students to understand, athlete, non-athlete, world missions major, or Christian studies major, or business major. We want them to understand that we're all missionaries. When we go out into the world, and we go out to find our place, we're preaching something. And we're going out and we're preaching a message about us, and we're preaching a message about God. And if we don't keep that in the front of our mind, then we have to understand that people are going to read something. What is it that we're preaching? What are we telling people? And when we help them to find their place in the world, then it's helping them to understand that you're a missionary. Whether you're in the business world, whether you're a scientist, whether you're in psychology, or whether you're on a baseball field, you're a missionary wherever you are. So make sure that you live that way and understand that as you go.
Athletically and academically, there's proposed growth on campus. One aspect of the growth can be seen on the athletes and on gear on campus immediately. With the help of the Odom Group, the Bears are not the Bears of the past, as a new logo is part of the school's marketing and promotion efforts.
We're thrilled with the new bear head and the new text logos that we have, and we'll begin phasing those in over the next 3 years. But we're really excited to try to do some really special things for our basketball season and try to kind of let some things out. I believe the same week that the program airs, we'll be really doing some things to really kind of put out there that we've got a new logo, and it's not the same old Truett McConnell.
And for the school to get to the places they envision getting to, it will take a lot of effort across campus by all involved. But Dr. Kaner, A.D. Epling, and the rest of the Bears are excited by the challenges ahead.
We would love to see the growth rates continue. We'd love to see more and more students become involved. We'd love to see, we've just commissioned within the past year a master plan, and we'd love to see the addition of other sporting programs, athletic programs like football. Our plan right now, we're seating a feasibility study committee to talk about, is football feasible to start by 2015? We believe it is, and we want to look at the numbers and see how those things guide us. But we believe starting football by 2015 is very doable and very realistic. We'd love to start some, a women's track team. We'd love to start a women's lacrosse team. But on top of that, we'd also love to see a new dorm built. We'd love to see a new chapel built, a new student recreation center built. And all of these things are exciting prospects in the future that are very realistic. And we feel like with the Lord's blessing and continued work, great work from our admissions department and from our athletic department, our coaches and everybody else involved, we believe that these things are very possible, and we're excited to see how it's going to all pan out in the future.
So Nicole, that's the story here from Truett McConnell. A lot to look forward to in the future, as they've had a lot of expansion happen the last couple of years.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the C Block. Coming up, we'll tell you where we're headed for our next show. But first, the Players of the Week.
The Players of the Week at the conference level for the week of October 29th are as follows. In volleyball, the honor went to Lee University junior Irene Ojakuwu. The middle blocker racked up 3 double-doubles against Georgetown, Taylor, and Indiana Wesleyan. She finished the week with 75 kills, 52 digs, 4 aces, and 9 blocks. The women's soccer offensive player of the week was University of Mobile senior Christy LaChapelle. LaChapelle scored 4 goals in a win over Spring Hill, and her performance pushes her to number 3 in the Rams record book in points, goals, and assists. The women's defensive player of the week is Mobile junior goalkeeper Jillian McMahon. She posted 6 saves, including 1 on a penalty kick in a victory over number 5 William Carey, and then a shutout over crosstown rival Spring Hill. The men's soccer offensive player of the week was Bellhaven senior forward Loak Miliani. Miliani scored a goal in the Blazers' upset of AUM and then added 2 more in a 3-2 loss to William Carey. And finally, the men's player of the week is Lee freshman goalkeeper Tom Halsell. Halsell was also named National Player of the Week in the NAIA. He had 4 saves in a shutout win over then number 12 Southern Poly and 3 saves in a victory over Truett McConnell.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
So Nicole, as you see in the fall sports, a lot of SSAC schools representing in the NAIA. That is it from Truett McConnell here in Cleveland. Where are we heading next week?
Next week, we're going to head to Franklin Springs, Georgia, where we'll visit Emmanuel College. So make sure you come back next week and see us in the showcase.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Every Italian family has their own treasured recipes. And now at Carrabba's, we're serving up 2 family favorites on one plate. Like our wood-grilled sirloin, topped with handmade marsala sauce and served alongside our signature chicken brine ravioli. Or enjoy fresh ingredients and layers of flavor, all grilled over a wood fire with our Pollo Rosa Maria and chicken involtini. Some of our best recipes are together at last, but only for a short time. So find your favorite tonight and come home to Carrabba's.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing when I wake up. I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.